everyone, welcome back to another Gate Ruler video. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, but the reason for that is quite simple. It's because I didn't want to waste your time by just shitting out some content you didn't really care about or make videos on just like one card. I wanted to wait until there was at least a decent amount to talk about them. So we got actually some pretty big ones over the last few days. So the first one is here. It is The Martians. This is Pepoverse. The overdrive is invading the Earth. If you have two Pepoverse on the field, choose either all of your opponent's units or all of your opponent's set cards and destroy them. So I think it's fairly obvious that this is just a ridiculous nuke. If this ever actually went off, you would probably win the game off of it alone because it's also a 4/5/2, level 2, so like the stats are really strong. The thing to keep in mind about this card is because it's an overdrive effect, you can't play this and then use the overdrive. You have to use the overdrive before you play this. So, like, realistically, the setup here is going to be you already have a Pepoverse on your field, so something like Space Sphinx or Space Dullahan. And then, after that, you drive an additional Pepoverse and this. That's, like, probably most likely. It's unlikely you're ever going to be able to keep two of these on board at once. But that is going to depend on the skill level of your opponent, because this is essentially a card that from now until the end of time your opponent's going to have to play, and the second they see pink they're going to have to go, ugh, well, I guess I'm never allowed to leave Pepoverse up on the board. So this is a card whose like existence kind of warps any game you play against good players, because if they let you get this off, it's suicide. So yeah, they're going to have to play with this in mind forever. Super good, and the art is just, I think it's War of the Worlds, right? Anyway, next we have got Power Ray Maximum. So here is our first level 4 spell. We kind of all knew this was coming. This was, sort of inevitable with Wizard having potentially 4 mana available, 4 energy available to use on the opponent's turn. And in addition, it's always just a thing, like, oh, well, make the card super expensive and you don't have to pay the cost, but it takes up level space for balancing and blah, blah, blah. There's lots of ways they can use a high level to balance the card. But here we've got something truly nutty. Counter, rest the opponent's ruler and all enemy units. So immediately, I want to say, if you ever stack this on top of your deck with Craig, you are laughing. You are having the time of your life. You know nothing bad is going to happen. This is absolutely pog. So, I mean, yeah, Craig, obvious synergy there. Then there is the actual effect. So this is an energy ability, so you can only play this in an energy-based ruler, and because it costs 4, you can essentially only play this in Wizard at the moment. Choose 1 or more enemy units. Distribute 8 damage among them. Then deal 2 damage to your opponent. So this is zap, zap, zap on just crack. Though, that being said, if the counter, I am not sure if the counter is better or worse than just playing it. Because obviously it has the same pitfalls as the previous rest enemy units ones, where it's like, okay, well, depending on when you get it during the turn, it's going to be super good. Now, because this rests everything, this is far more likely to be good, and hence why I think it was costed as such. And again, there are now ways to sort of guarantee it, such as Craig. But yeah, the main effect is still nuts. Deal 8 damage and then burn 2. Like 8 damage is definitely killing whatever they've got in defensive. Plus probably most of their board, and 2 damage to the opponent is nice as well. However, let's consider the scenario in which you're actually going to use that. You are going to have 4 energy available, which means during your opponent's turn, because you have to wait till the end of your opponent's turn here. This means during your opponent's turn you have not used any costing interaction, so you're immediately limiting yourself to only things that are free. On top of that, this has to not get destroyed by any set destruction, because bear in mind you're not really having any interaction to deal with that. So like Detonator, like the little level 0 Wild Force dude, is now suddenly quite valuable for potentially dealing with this. So you have to not have this dealt with. You have to not interact. And on the previous turn before you use this, you have to have not played anything or played stuff and untapped your energy such that you've got this like ready to go. Which is a tall order. It's so blatantly telegraphed to the opponent that yeah, I've got Power A maximum set. Like, it's so obvious that your opponent would have to be pretty much brain dead to not see this coming, which it really does put a damper on how strong this is. Personally, I think you're probably just going to be playing this for the counter and never really use the actual main effect because the counter is nuts. And I do see this probably being used at like 2 copies. But you know, okay, right, phone charm. Yeah. But yeah, I just don't think it's very good. Overall, on balance, I just think it's a bit of a trap card, to be honest. You will you will probably still want to play it because of the counter, but finally we've got our influencer reveal. So hopefully remember to leave a link in the pinned comment. So this is Journey Through Hell. Malediction. The use timing is set this and use it when your unit in the attacking zone is destroyed because of combat damage. Destroy the unit that attacked your unit. So I think this is a super fun card to use for stuff like Daijinki. My problem with cards like these is like you're sort of like it is good value. Like paying 1 to destroy anything is of course good value, but like when you consider that you're losing a lot of autonomy in what it's destroying, and you have to like already have essentially negged by your opponent clearing your board anyway, it's kind of like it feels bad. But like again, it is going to depend because like if your opponent is just slamming down a level 3 and then just clearing it with that, then this is great. If this is a level 2 even, this is great. And again, Wizard's always going to have this 1 energy available, so this is like much more viable now than it ever was. It would be in Knight. So I do think there is probably quite a solid argument to want to play this card. How good is it? We'll need to test it. But that's it for today's video. One announcement I wanted to make is I got bored over the weekend, so I made a little spreadsheet which should be linked in the description, which lists all the cards we've gotten so far and like the amount. Like it's a spreadsheet of all the reveals we have so far for set 2 and the starter decks and what we're missing. And I'll be updating that whenever we get new cards. So if you want to like keep on top of stuff and just know like, oh, what are we waiting for? Like what factions have what stuff left? Then you can use that spreadsheet. I figured I'd make that as a public resource, and you know, be good to have. Join my Discord server. Links in the description. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to pick up Gate Ruler, please use my affiliate links in the description or contact your local game store. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Cheers.